I always get so awkward when I first start filming again. Let's just say the last time I wore makeup like this was for my birthday, which was July 7th, and today is currently October 13th, I believe. If that doesn't describe how things have been going, then I don't know what will. Just say goodnight and go. I have tried to make this video many times, but it's been rough. It's been hard. Today is the first day in a very long time that I felt like filming a video and actually sitting down and talking and kind of just describing what's been going on in my life and how I've been handling everything, I guess. If you don't follow me on social media, you may not know, but I am actually pregnant. I'm having a baby. As of right now, I am currently 25 weeks pregnant, which is a little over 6 months, which has been a journey. It has been, I honestly don't even have words. I have a list of things I want to talk about, kind of just things that I've experienced, gone through, things that pregnancy has just, I guess, taught me, because they're things that I did not realize happened. But I wrote it down because pregnancy brain is seriously real. I forget absolutely everything if I don't write it down within 2 minutes of thinking about it. It's awful. I can be mid-conversation and be like, what am I even talking about anymore at this point? Like, so please bear with me. I'm gonna try and make this not a very long video, but I mean, I get sidetracked extremely easily now, even more than I did before. And I will say I'm out of breath about 90% of the day. So if you hear me huffing and puffing through this video as well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get it together as much as I can. Like I said, right now I'm 25 weeks pregnant. I have known since I was pregnant, since I was 3 weeks pregnant. And it has been the longest, I guess, 22 weeks since I have found out. I feel like I've been pregnant for about 6 years. It's insane. To be completely honest with you, about 20 of those weeks have been miserable. You hear about pregnancy and, you know, it's this beautiful thing and everyone's like, oh my god, it's such a beautiful experience, like feeling the baby move and, you know, morning sickness, and, you know, it only lasts a little bit. It's just in the morning. That is not true. I'm calling bullshit. Morning sickness is all day long, literally all day long. I had morning sickness for at least 4.5 months every day, all day long. I lost about 15 pounds total before I started gaining the baby weight. I am 6 months pregnant and I weigh exactly what I did before I was pregnant. I lost 15 pounds. I didn't start getting sick until I hit about 7 weeks. A lot of people say like the first signs of finding out that you're pregnant is morning sickness or you feel sick pretty early on. So I thought, you know, 5-6 weeks I'll start feeling really sick. It didn't start until I was almost about 8 weeks pregnant, and it really hasn't stopped since. I mean, I feel a lot better now to where I'm able to eat and hold food down and be able to gain weight. But for about 4 months, I would say every day I was throwing up. I was so sick. I couldn't even drink water without throwing it up. It was so bad. And they had to put me on a medication that I was taking for a while that was supposed to help with the nausea. And it really didn't. I think it was very much a placebo effect, to where it was like, oh my god, it's working the first 2 days, and then your body's just like, nope, this isn't gonna work. So I was not eating, and anything that I did eat, I threw up. Water was a struggle for me to drink. I was obviously trying to drink that at least, but it was just rough, along with acid reflux. So anything that I did eat just hurt. I truly was miserable. I hated it. I remember just being so unhappy and just being like, I don't know who lied to me and said like, oh my God, pregnancy is great and you know, it's such a good time. You're only sick for a little while. I was sick for so long. Also, on top of being nauseous, my sense of smell, which I have never had in my entire life. I have the worst sense of smell in general. So being able to smell absolutely every little thing in the entire world pretty much around me was disgusting. I felt so bad because I couldn't stand the smell of Patrick, who is my boyfriend. I couldn't stand the smell of him. Even the smell of like his body wash disgusted me. And I felt so bad because it just like he's trying to hug me or something and I'm like, get away from me. I can't smell you. I would immediately throw up. I remember one of the first times I threw up, he came home from work, sat next to me, and I felt nauseous all day long, but I hadn't thrown up. And finally he hugged me and I was like, get off of me. I ran to the sink and I couldn't hold it in. And it was just one of the worst things I have ever smelled in my life, which is so strange because he didn't stink at all. Like, it was just his scent that grossed me out for the longest time. Like, I remember I had to stay at my mom's house for a little bit because it was just so overwhelming. It was too much. Any kind of smell that, even smells that I loved, I was just like, I can't do this. I don't want to smell anything. Also, my emotions, especially during the first trimester, it was rough because usually I hate crying in front of people. At least I hate crying in general, but especially in front of people. I mean, I'm usually able to like contain it, and if I need to cry, I'm just kind of like, just hold it in, don't show anyone that you need to cry. Like, I just kind of kept it together. I mean, I still have my days where I literally just cry in bed for absolutely no reason, but the first trimester especially, I just felt really alone and unhappy, and it didn't matter how many people I had around me supporting me or, you know, telling me everything was gonna be fine. I just didn't believe it. I felt completely alone and it was rough. I literally cried myself to sleep every day because I was so unhappy, and I was fighting with myself a lot because obviously I'm having a baby. I'm so excited. This is something that we have wanted. So now that I have it, I felt guilty, like I don't want to be pregnant anymore. Not so much that I didn't want to have a baby, but I just didn't want to be pregnant anymore. Like, it sucked. I was miserable. I was sick. I still feel sick, and I felt guilty because I felt like I was putting it out there that I didn't want this baby and like I was unhappy, but that's just not how I meant it. I meant it like I feel alone and just unhappy because I'm so sick and emotional. And I feel like nobody understood me. That's just kind of like how I felt. Even if I talked to friends that had kids and went through the same thing, I just still felt alone because it's extremely isolating. I feel like, especially now, I lost myself to where, you know, you obviously change, your body changes and your mindset changes a little bit, and it's rough because you don't feel like yourself. At least I didn't. And I don't know, it was extremely emotional, and I still get that way, but it's hard to put up this front and everyone asks, oh, how are you? And you don't want to sit there and be like, I've been miserable, I hate it, you know? So you're just like, oh, I'm good, I'm great, you know, feel good. I do not feel good at all. I mean, obviously I feel a million times better now than I did when I was throwing up on the daily, but you know, I still have my days, and it's really rough, and it's rough feeling that way and throwing up, losing weight, going to the doctor, telling them what's wrong, and then the nurses are making you feel really shitty because they're like, you shouldn't be losing weight, and do you not care about your baby? And it makes you feel even worse. And it's like, I need like guidance in a way, not so much for you to make me feel like shit. Like, I'm trying to gain weight, I'm trying to keep food down. It's just been hard. Also, my body temperature is always a million degrees. I'm always hot and out of breath very easily, always tired, but yet when I try to go to bed, I'm uncomfortable the entire time. I toss and turn, and it takes so long to flip sides because it just hurts. Everything hurts. She's also extremely, extremely low to where she's pretty much laying on my pelvic bone. So if I stand up too long or if I turn the wrong way, I feel her between my hips and my ribs, and it just hurts. If I sneeze, I feel like she's gonna break my ribs. I'm saying she because it's a girl. I'm having a girl. I don't know if I've said that, but I'm having a girl, and she hurts me so much. But I mean, I can't blame her. There's not a lot of room for her to move around in there, so I'm trying my best. I'm sorry. I also find myself a lot comparing myself to other pregnant people. A lot of people I went to high school with, or even influencers, stuff like that. So many people are having babies, especially like this year and in 2021, they're gonna have more babies. So I just find myself comparing myself to them a lot, at least pregnancy wise. I don't have like the biggest belly, and I'm 6 months, so I see other people that are pregnant for the first time that are around the same trimester, same month or whatever as me, and they're like a lot bigger, or it just looks like they're progressing a lot more in their pregnancy. And it's hard not to do that because you always feel like you're doing something wrong if like you're not in the same level as that person. But I mean, I know now that like every pregnancy is different and everyone grows at their own rate. In the beginning, it was really hard for me to see other girls, showing so quickly, because it made me feel like I was doing something wrong, or oh my god, maybe I'm not eating the right things, or maybe I'm not exercising enough or walking, whatever. Like, I just always felt like I was doing something wrong, and I feel like that had so much to do with my mental health. It's scary because a lot of people talk about postpartum depression, and you don't ever really hear about prenatal depression, which is depression throughout the pregnancy, which I have had. I have anxiety and depression even before I was pregnant. I've had it pretty much since I was 14, 15. So I've struggled with it my entire life pretty much. And you think because you're having a baby, you're bringing a life into the world, it's gonna be all rainbows and butterflies, and it really has not been like that for me. Mental health has been a challenge. I try to talk about it as much as I can as far as, what I'm feeling, because I don't want, how I've explained it to my mom and my boyfriend is pretty much, I feel guilty when I have anxiety or when I feel depressed because I feel like I'm passing it on to her, to my daughter, and it scares me. It's, it's not just me anymore, because I don't know the effects on that or what it can do, or and I know that it's more of my anxiety just feeding into that, but it's scary because when it was just me experiencing that. But yet when I have anxiety, my heart rate is extreme, and I don't want her heart rate to be far over what it needs to be, so I think about little things like that. But yeah, I just haven't seen a lot on prenatal depression. You hear a lot about after you have the baby, which that scares me even more because it's so common to have postpartum postpartum depression. And, you know, it's just something that I'm gonna have to get through if, you know, I unfortunately have that. But I'm working on it day by day. Being pregnant during COVID has been interesting and difficult, but also not the worst thing. It's been difficult because it restricts me from going to a lot of places that I would have otherwise went to probably. You know, I still would be working and stuff like that, and you know, I wouldn't have to be as cautious going to, you know, the grocery store or even Target, whatever. Now it's like a struggle. I have to wear a mask, and it's really hard for me to breathe because I'm so out of breath all the time and hot just without the mask. And when I have to wear a mask everywhere, it's hard. And I know it's like first world problems, it's just a fucking mask, like it's fine, but it's an extra step that I have to do now that causes me to be even more uncomfortable. I tried going back to work. I went back to work for one day, and it was the hottest day of summer. It was like 112 when I got there. I was sweating, out of breath, wearing a mask. I work in downtown Disney, so you're standing outside, and you know, we have these latex gloves on, you have a face mask. I'm already 1,000 degrees hotter than normal, and having to walk around and work with gloves and a face mask on, I'm just gonna say I fainted. I completely fell in the bathroom and was like, I can't do this. I worked one day and told them I just can't do this. Like, I thought I would be able to, but it's so difficult, you know? And obviously being in such a high populated place, working during a pandemic is extremely dangerous. But me being me and being like I have to work, and me being so used to working all the time, I just had this mentality that was like, I need to try to go back to work. After that, I just was like, you know, I have to be selfish for once and just be kind of like, just let my boss know, like, I'm not gonna put my baby at risk just because I was here every single day working before. I don't want to risk myself and my baby just to work for a couple hours during the week, you know? So I decided to stop going to work at least until I have the baby, and then we'll go from there. But I have not been working because COVID is just a scary thing, and if I get sick, it's not just me I have to worry about, it's another human being I have to worry about now too. I'm just really cautious now about everything that I do, and especially as I get further along in the pregnancy and realizing I'm gonna bring this baby home during a pandemic is extremely scary. And obviously people are dying from it and being diagnosed and getting extremely sick, which is not something that I want to experience and, you know, pass it on to my baby. So I really don't go anywhere. I'm home pretty much 7 days out of the week. I'm either here or at my mom's house. I do not go anywhere in between unless I obviously have to go to the grocery store. But it's also been kind of nice because, like I said, the first trimester and a little bit of the second trimester, I was extremely sick, and I feel like I would have called out of work a lot if we weren't in a pandemic and everything was normal. I've obviously got to experience every part of pregnancy at home. I think that's what's made this pregnancy longer, is that I'm home all the time. But it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because I'm realizing now that it may sound a little selfish, but I was upset in the beginning about people not being able to come to the hospital and, you know, see me and the baby, you know, things that people usually get to experience without this pandemic. But now I've come to the realization that me and my boyfriend get to experience our daughter by ourselves for a little while, you know, until we come home and family wants to visit her. But we get to be selfish in the way to where we get her for a couple days just to ourselves before we have to introduce her to the world, pretty much. At least, you know, our family and some of our friends. But I'm not too mad at it, I guess, now, which can come off as a little selfish, but you know what? I don't care. It's fine. I have a few more months before I obviously go into labor and have her, which terrifies me because it's really so soon. It's only about 15 weeks away. Like I said, it's been an extremely long pregnancy, so I'm kind of just ready for it to be over and I'm ready for her to be here. Cravings. I haven't really had like strong cravings. There has only been one incident where I'm like, I need this thing or I'm gonna punch someone in the face, and it was a donut, which is so random because normally I don't like donuts whatsoever, like any kind of donut. It takes a lot for me to crave that. It was shocking that the first thing I wanted was at like 2 in the morning, and it was an apple fritter donut, which is the most random donut to want. One of the first things I was craving was goldfish, like the goldfish crackers, cranberry juice, lemons, anything lemon scented, lemon flavored. That was probably the only scent that I could tolerate, and still to this day I can eat just like a regular lemon, and people look at me like I'm a weirdo, but it's what I want. So Chick-fil-A, that has been a craving of mine. And just recently I've gotten a really big sweet tooth, so Starburst and Hershey's almond bar has been like my go-to. But yeah, those are pretty much the only things that like I want to eat on the regular. It's nothing like crazy. I haven't had any weird cravings, at least not yet. I don't know, I kind of want a weird craving so I can be like, it's just the baby that wants it. I have an excuse now to have like weird foods, and the baby doesn't even want weird things. So I will say though, I miss sushi so much. I just want to eat all the things that I cannot have. And also, I've never been a big drinker at all, like at all. But now that I know I cannot have alcohol and everyone around me is drinking, it's annoying. It's so annoying, and I'm just like, I know it's because I'm pregnant and I can't have alcohol. That makes me want it more. But the fact that everywhere I go, everyone drinks around me, I just want to yell fuck you to everyone because I have never needed to drink more in my life. Also, there's so many like no things, like things you shouldn't have, and don't have this because it'll have this birth defect on the baby, and you can't have this because blah blah blah. It's so annoying, and the list is so much longer than it needs to be. Like, all I want is the sandwich from Panera, like a turkey sandwich from Panera, but I can't have it unless the turkey is warmed up or, you know, cooked on the stove, and I don't want to do that. I just want to eat it as is, but I can't because it carries some kind of bacterial something that the baby can't have. Obviously fish because of the mercury that's in it. Alcohol's bad. Can't have hot dogs. It's just like all the good things I can't have. It's fine. We're gonna get through it. My baby girl has been moving quite a lot lately, especially. She moves pretty much all day long. Like it's either like a wave sensation movement that I feel, or I feel like she's literally like punching me like this, like, get me out of here, and it's really, really painful. Or sometimes they're just like little like butterfly wings. Like they're all different, but I, you know, feel this all day long, and every time I'm like, look, Phil, I tell my boyfriend like, oh, she's kicking Phil, she'll stop, and I'm like, really? Just let someone else feel you so I don't feel crazy. Finally, like a couple nights ago, my boyfriend put his hand on my stomach and she like kicked him really hard, and he was like, oh my god, I finally like felt it, which was a pretty cool moment because now he like gets to experience another thing with me, because I obviously feel this every single day. It's exciting when he gets to like feel her kick or see her move, or even when we go to like a 3D ultrasound place, like obviously separate from the doctor because he can't. I've been to every doctor's appointment by myself because of COVID, so that's been frustrating. But we have went to a few like 3D ultrasound places, so he gets to like see her through that. So when he sees that, like, I get all excited. I get more excited when he experiences things more than I do, just because like I want him to be excited, and I can't wait until he can obviously like hold her and see her and everything, just because it's a different experience for dads obviously than the mom, because mom's always with baby. So I'm just excited. I mean, I'm nervous for him during labor more than me because he cannot handle anything like that. He gets extremely like grossed out, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just kind of wanted to make this video and let you know what I've been experiencing as far as being pregnant. I know not everyone's pregnancy is the same. You know, you might have an easy pregnancy and no morning sickness and you're just killing it out here. I'm so jealous of you. But, you know, I just kind of wanted to talk about things that I normally do not hear about or have not heard about, and just kind of let other mamas out there that are going through the same thing that you are not alone. You know, I've been struggling, but I'm getting through it. I have my days where I want to just shut my phone off and not talk to anyone, and there's days where I cry when my boyfriend is going to work because I just don't want to be by myself, but just gotta get through it. But I want to make a few more videos leading up to her being born, which is, my due date is the end of January 2021. I have a feeling that she's gonna come early. I hope that she comes a little bit early just because I want to be done with being pregnant. I don't know. I mean, if you are pregnant and going through the same things, then obviously comment down below and let me know your struggles, or even if it's been smooth sailing for you, let me know. I feel like I've missed out on a lot of like vlogging, but you know, you don't really want to record yourself when you're not feeling your best. So I thought, you know, I feel okay today. Let's film a video. Let's try to be productive. Stay tuned for more baby vlogs, baby videos, because I get to do that now. I'm having a baby. Thank you guys so much for sitting through this video and watching it with me. If you're a mama going through the same thing, I love you. You got this. We got this. We're gonna do great. If you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.